Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the PreCardix Podcast. This is Carla, CEO of Mariales, and today we have our customer experience and marketing manager, Jenna Hammond.
Thank you for having
Jenna. So Jenna and I work very closely in our North American operations. We're based out of Toronto and outside of Toronto. So it's really cool to have this conversation here today. We talk every day. We lead the operations in Canada and now the USA as well. So I'm really excited that we're having this conversation here today.
This is really exciting.
Yeah.
Being outside of what we normally do, being here.
It's super. So Jenna joined us just over a year ago. You just had your 1-year anniversary with the company.
I did.
Do you want to share a little bit about your role, what you do, and what this last year has been like for you?
Yeah, this last year has been wildly busy. So I joined last fall, so just over a year ago, and I am now the customer relationship marketing manager, working alongside you every single day in Canada. So that has been, so for myself, I had a large career break. So I'm back to work, and working in a company and in a role like this was really something that aligned with my values, something that really spoke to me. So
remember the first conversation we had on the phone?
Yeah.
And you were sold and I was sold?
Yes.
It was a great match.
It was instant connection on every level, every step of the way. So yeah, it's been a wild, busy year.
Yes, it flew by too, didn't it?
Yes. It didn't. I feel like
true.
I've been here forever.
Yes.
But at the same time, yes, a year, we just blinked and it went by. It was busy. It was crazy. It was fun, exciting, nerve-wracking.
All of it. And a big part of your role, of course, is to connect with consumers. It's such an important part of our work and what we do, and you're so good at it, and you connect with our consumers in such a special way. Do you want to talk a little bit about how that is for you to and
well, thank you for saying that I do a good job.
Absolutely.
I think it's probably one of the most fulfilling parts of my job is getting the chance to speak to customers, hearing what they have to say, whether it's good or it's bad. Getting those conversations and the personal connections is definitely something that I enjoy the most.
So great.
Yeah, like when somebody emails and has something great to say, they've had great experiences, they're feeling great. It really validates what we're doing. And there's no other part of the company that I feel like I could work in that I would get that opportunity to speak to people one-on-one. And you develop relationships. You recognize those names as the orders come through. You recognize the emails. People will call and give you an update as to how they're feeling.
So great.
Yeah.
And their doctors, they tell you, my doctor's really happy with it, and my blood pressure is so rewarding. Don't we share too? Like, I love when you get an email like that, and then we say, let's share it with the rest of the team, because it really makes our day, and it really continues to encourage us to do the work.
Like, we're genuinely happy and excited. So I know when I send you that little screenshot of a message that comes in, you are just as excited as I am.
It's the best.
And then sharing it with the team so that they get a chance to see what's happening in customer service and what people are saying.
It's important.
It's so important, because that's why we do.
That's why we do what we do. I agree, because so other parts of the business are removed from seeing that direct impact that the product is having in consumers and in people, in real people. So sharing that is important with them to keep them motivated and
real people on both ends. I think real people, when we speak to customers, that's really important to view them as real people, because they are. But at the same time, knowing for them that they know when they call customer service or they email customer service that it is a real person. And it's consistent. So they know when they speak to me now that in 6 months, it's still going to be me behind the phone. And I really love offering that to people, because you get that human connection.
Exactly. Which can be rare these days, right? Dealing with so much AI and a chatbot, and it can be super frustrating. So I agree with you that having that connection, and you're very good at getting back to people very quickly, and that you always get a lot of positive feedback about that. It helps build the trust too in us as a company and in the product.
Well, and that's the whole, there's nothing more frustrating than when you're trying to ask a company a question and you can't get a hold of somebody. So I try to always offer customer service that I would like to receive, that I would like to see in the world.
Exactly.
Because that's really rare. And I truly think that that's what sets us apart in that customer service aspect, is that we do offer a real human, consistent person behind the phone. Yeah. And I it comes from a place of deep connection that I do want to help people. So knowing that they can call, it's really the best part of my job.
Oh, I know. You really do love that. It's great. And then the other, and one of the other parts of your job is also going to stores, visiting stores, delivering training to the stores. And I know you like that too. You want to talk a little bit about that part of your job, educating and sharing the brand story also.
Yeah, so a big part of what we do, obviously you know this, is education. And going to the stores, being on the ground level of the operation and being the boots on the ground here in Canada. Again, having a human person, it's not delivered via AI. It's not just somebody behind a screen, even if it is a real person delivering it. We do go to these stores as often as possible to offer the education. Yeah. And again, it gives you the time to connect with people. You get to tell the story, and the story itself is very endearing. It's wonderful. A great story. Yes. And people don't know that.
No, it's a big part of what we do.
It's hard to convey it.
Story. Absolutely.
So having that opportunity to make those connections, and then you go into the stores and they remember who you are. They recognize you. As time goes on, you start to have those conversations, and then they feel open, and it's good for them because they know that, again, just like a customer, they can call if they have a question.
Exactly. I was going to get to that too, right? Like if they have any questions, if they need any support, they always know who to call, and that we get back to them very quickly. We take our job so seriously, and we really take so much pride in what we do, and we just really love it, and we want to deliver the best service to our partners, to our consumers.
But we say that, but I feel like when we have conversations, just you and myself, we really truly love what we do.
Yes, I
agree. And we do want
100%.
To educate people. It's not just we say it, we actually truly
like when we're working on our content calendar. Okay, what can we offer that is going to be actually helpful for people to learn about? Who do we need to partner up with? Who can write an article for us that can really spread awareness about whatever it is that we are intending to?
What would I like to
really
read?
Well thought out.
Exactly. Like, what do I want to see in my news feed?
Exactly.
What do I find interesting? Because really, if I don't find it interesting, what are the chances that somebody else is going to find it interesting?
Yeah, no, it's true. It's a good perspective to always put ourselves in the receiving end, right?
Yeah.
But if you go back then to our company, what are some of the things that you like? I know we talk about this also regularly, and how lucky we are to be working with Marie-Alice. What are some of the things that really are so special to you about this company?
Okay, well, there's quite a few. And I brag about it a lot because it is just so rare. So for myself, coming back to work after a career break, that transition.
15 years. You weren't at home being a stay-at-home mom. Yes.
Yeah, 3 kids, 15 years, and I'm looking for a job. And to have the opportunity to work with a company that understood that I had a really big career break. I have big responsibilities at home, and that the transition wasn't going to be easy. But to have somebody offer that with compassion and grace and flexibility, so that I can be the employee that I want to be. I can have the career that I want to have, but it doesn't come at the sacrifice of my family. And that was one of the biggest things, I think, maybe that I was surprised about when I first onboarded, that my kids could be a priority, but so could my career. There was room for both, and I didn't have to get rid of any part of my life. I could bring my whole self to work every day. And if that meant that one of my kids was sick and a meeting had to be shifted, or there was somebody coughing in the background, they understood I was human.
Judgment.
No judgment.
No. I know what you mean. As a mom myself,
Yeah.
I can totally relate to what you're talking about. It's just really wonderful that the company is so accommodating with us as employees.
Incredibly accommodating.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry. And I think when you don't have to worry about that stuff, you are a better employee. Then you want to work more. You want to be at work because you can have your life. It's like you can have your cake and eat it too. Like you can do it all.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
No, it's wonderful.
So it's a blessing. And I wish that more companies offered that because I feel it's invaluable. So that would be...
I agree. It's a good message, for companies to have. You can take a chance on someone even if they don't have the experience. But when you have the right fit from a mission-driven, when you both have the same mission in life overall, we want to help people, then you make it work. If you have the values, the person has the same values as an individual compared to the company. So it's been a really great fit and a real pleasure.
And our team is just a dream. Being here with everybody this week really validated too that we are good. We are a group of great people.
Yes, I agree.
I think everybody thinks maybe we're all great people, but like I could scream that. Like,
and we like to have fun too,
awesome.
which is great. Yeah, we like to have, even when we're having a hard day, because often things don't go the way we expect them to go, we still find the time to laugh and make the best of it. But I also want to ask you, because you take PreCardix. Tell us a little bit about how that happened. And that was a year ago already when you remember we were at a show in Toronto and you measured your blood pressure. And tell us
the irony will never be lost on that entire situation.
I remember.
So I guess going back 10 years ago during my pregnancy, one of my pregnancies, my blood pressure just wasn't ideal. It wasn't where I had wanted it to be. Had some complications in the pregnancy, but I was young. I was in my mid to late 20s. It really just
was
sort
it
of...
in your radar?
Why
really?
would it be?
Yeah,
I didn't think it should be in my radar. I had no idea what my numbers were.
And you have no symptoms?
No symptoms.
Yeah.
Or the symptoms that I did have, I just attributed to having 3 kids, being busy,
being stressed and exhausted. Yes.
So it wasn't until I started to become more aware of what symptoms could be, what my numbers were, eating healthy, being active. I just assumed with my age and my lifestyle that...
It wasn't even,
why would
a
it
concern. Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. And then about a year ago, just after I started working, took my blood pressure and realized very quickly...
It was not where you wanted it to be.
No, it was not where I wanted it to be. And I was disappointed. Come to learn, speaking to my doctor, that it was due to complications many years ago in my pregnancy. So conveniently enough, working for PreCardix, started taking it. And it almost sounded too good to be true in the sense that, like, I just happened to work for this company. And then you don't want to sound salesy. Oh, I take it, so you should take it.
Right.
But it genuinely is...
It worked well for you.
Yes.
I remember. So now you're one of our walking testimonials.
I am. There's always a box of PreCardix on the counter. But I think, too, it was eye-opening because we always think that blood pressure, older.
Absolutely.
I think my parents... Oh, why would I have blood pressure concerns? Why do I need to even take my blood pressure? It just was not something that I had really thought about it.
Most of us don't, really.
But when you're pregnant, the first thing that they do in the doctor's office is take your blood pressure. So we're used to it as women, but yet it just wasn't something that I thought that I had to do.
For sure. So what are some of the things that, as a consumer, do you like about the product, actually?
Okay, this is a good question.
Yeah, as you said, it's always on my counter. So how do you take it? What are some of the things? Yeah, because the fact that because you work for the company doesn't mean that you have to take it either. So what are some of the things that really you found?
Okay, well, first off, it doesn't smell like shrimp. People ask me this all the time. Does it smell like shrimp?
Does it taste like shrimp?
No, and it doesn't. The other question is, does it, like, if you burped later on in the day?
Yeah.
It sounds gross, but sometimes if you take things,
yes,
you can get like an aftertaste many hours later.
There's none of that.
No, it's just like taking any other supplement.
And they're easy to swallow, I hear.
Well,
I've taken it too a few times.
I mean, yes, because the size can be daunting, and people mention that all the time. But no, the way that it's coated, everything, very easy to take. And it's easy to put into my routine. Working in this industry.
Do you take them in the morning? Do you take them?
Yeah.
Do you take them?
Take them in the morning.
The two together.
Yeah.
The two together in the morning. With your food, do you take it with food? It's easier for you. I think you mentioned to take it with food.
I do. Yeah. But I can't take anything on an empty stomach.
Oh, yeah. It depends on the person, really.
Yes.
Ultimately.
Yeah.
You got to try what works for you. And then as long as you take them together, that's the thing. And what do you like about the evidence, the clinical or the clinical studies that have been done on the bioactive marine peptides? Because as a consumer, you want to make sure also for yourself.
Well, it's funny because I didn't really think of it as a consumer prior to working in this industry. Now I see like people are advertising that they've had clinical trials. It's clinically proven. Now I know what that means. So I sometimes wonder if people even know how much research goes into it, because now I have a lot of respect for products that have the clinical backing. But prior to this, no, it didn't even occur to me. I guess maybe I assumed everybody did research. And now you realize that that's not really the way that it's done.
Not always. And you often get questions from consumers too about that, the clinical studies and that is very important for a product like this, I think.
And it sets us apart, I think.
Yes.
And that is the big thing. So now when I'm looking for other products, if something's clinically proven, clinically validated, they've had clinical trials,
clinical studies,
I'm there.
Yes. No, it's especially for blood pressure, right?
Yeah.
Let me see. I have so many questions here for you. Well, I guess we're here. We're in the US. So why don't we talk a little bit about this launch and how is it exciting? What excites you about introducing the product?
Other than being here and not being at home? I think it's the growth phase in general. So being part of the company for the last year, I have seen quite a few changes. We've pivoted. We've changed direction. So to be at this point now where we're launching in the US, it's one of the biggest markets.
So exciting.
It's a little emotional because I think, as you probably feel too, so connected to what we do. It's scary, but it's also emotional because being able to now launch in such a big market with access to so many people who we can help.
Really, I know, it is so very exciting.
And it's kind of like Canada is our baby, and now
we're expanding.
Yeah.
No, it's fantastic. Where do you, because we already sell on Amazon. How is that going? Is that growing? We're getting great reviews actually on Amazon. That's where people can find it already. And we're going to
people have great things to say on Amazon. And there's I check every single day. So if people are ever wondering if there's a human behind it.
That's right.
First thing in the morning, I pour my cup of coffee and I'm checking Amazon to see, did anybody else leave us a review? Yeah. Did anybody contact customer service?
Yes.
I want to hear what people have to say. So
yeah, anytime anyone has any issues too, which is really not very often.
You'd be surprised. It's not often at all. Sometimes I think is customer service working? Do I need to refresh this? But I think it goes back to also our website. It answers a lot of your questions. I think I just maybe went off on a bit of a tangent there, taking it back to the website, but it really is like a self-service.
And there's lots of educational content there as well. Lots of resources for consumers to also learn about the product and how they can take it, if it's suitable for them.
Yeah.
For healthcare providers. You work on the website regularly too. We're on top of that. Also constantly updating it and tweaking and improving the experience.
Well, as much as people love speaking to customer service, we're all very busy. So if you can make your website user-friendly so they can find an answer to their question very quickly without having to call or email or chat.
Exactly.
That's ideal. I don't want to speak to people unless I absolutely have to as a consumer. So
yeah, we do the best to try and provide the best experience so it's efficient.
Yeah.
And it's, by the way, it's PreCardix.com.
Right.
So if anyone wants to head over and learn more about us and the company, it's all there on PreCardix.com.
Yeah, and if they can't find what they want, they can always email me.
Exactly.
I'm always available.
You know who you're getting when you email us or chat with us or even DM
I'm happy to chat
through social media. Yeah. You also work, a part of your work is partnering up with influencers, for example, to spread awareness about blood pressure. And I know you really love this when we find the right partners to work with. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that? This summer we had a really great webinar with a really well-respected healthcare professional, if you will. That's really also exciting and fun work.
Well, it is, and it's gratifying because it is the educational component as well. So working with an influencer, I mean, we're really picky, as you know. So finding somebody that, again, aligns with our values, wants to promote and educate the way that we do. I don't want you to promote my product because you want to promote a product. If you believe in it and you feel trust in it, then yes, like that is the ideal situation.
Right.
So for us, like the webinar, to see people show up, to learn about their health, to be healthier, and it's
so rewarding.
It's so rewarding.
It's really, really great. Yeah. No, I love that. Oh my gosh, we've covered so many of the questions. What are some of your favorite? I'll ask you this now. What is some of your favorite milestones in the last year, or things that we've done differently in our business, for example?
I guess for myself, that this will somewhat answer your question, is we take things really seriously. So
we do. That is true.
If somebody's telling us that this isn't working for them, or we're hearing it consistently that maybe they're confused by our messaging, we go in and we fix it. So for me, maybe it's not really a milestone, but it's something that, because I'm learning the way that I guess this industry is run, to know that I hope there's more companies out there like ours that take that customer feedback so seriously and go and make the changes. So for myself, it would be making those changes so that the user experience for customers that come onto any of our platforms is as friendly, as clear. Yeah,
a nice experience overall.
And so I've been able to see that evolve as time goes. The other one would be the customer testimonials.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you about that. I'm glad you got to it. Yes. What are some of your favorite ones?
Okay, so there's quite a few. Just recently had an ND,
a naturopathic doctor.
Yes, call in. And she had her sister visiting. And her sister was experiencing some blood pressure concerns. And they went to their local pharmacy. Okay. And they were recommended PreCardix. And so she called to let us know that after 4 days, her sister was feeling incredibly
better already.
Yeah, so much
she could
better.
See a difference. Yeah, wow.
And she called to let us know, which I wish more people would call to let us know, because so we get lots of people, but I think there's probably more out there. So I love when people do call just to let us know. Yes. But she also wanted to order it for her clinic.
Oh, right.
So that's kind of like a 2-in-1 phone call.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so she saw it firsthand herself with her sister, called to let us know, and then ordered it for her patients. So it was just, you could see, I guess, now she's going to help more people.
Exactly.
Because of the experience with her sister.
Yes, built trust for her. Now she's, into it. Absolutely. Yeah. That was a really good one.
That was a good one.
You had a guy recently, too.
And we had long conversations in customer service.
Sometimes these people call multiple times, right?
Yes.
Before they make the decision.
He actually called me before he purchased to ask about blood pressure monitors.
Oh,
so the whole education component, it wasn't a sales call. He wasn't even, I don't even know if he was even looking for PreCardix, but he had been recommended PreCardix, wanted to know about learning his numbers. And that's one of the things that we say all of the time, know your numbers.
Yes.
And was asking about a blood pressure monitor. And then called about 6 or 8 weeks later to let me know that he had purchased PreCardix. I had some questions about dosing. Okay, I answered his questions. It was a lovely conversation. And then about 10 weeks later, called to let me know that his blood pressure numbers were ideal. He couldn't believe how great he was feeling. And that is like the long-term relationship that you have with some of these customers who aren't ready to purchase, but call to ask the questions.
Yeah, which they should, right? They should do their research, absolutely. Talk to their healthcare providers. And so, yeah, it's just so nice when you see the progression and you see that they're happy and they're comfortable and you work. It has to be a suitable option for them anyway. At the end of the day, it's
they
just
call
so
to
rewarding.
say thank you, and I think that is
So wonderful.
the most rewarding part of the job is when somebody calls and just says thank you.
I know.
And you think like you get teary-eyed about it because it's thank you for so many things. It's a broad statement, but thank you for giving me my life back.
Yeah.
Thank you for providing this option.
The quality of life.
Yes.
They have their quality of life back. I agree.
So
it's a big deal.
It is a big deal. Like my eyes are teary.
Thank you so much for being here today. This has been a lot of fun. It's so great to spend time with you here in this platform. And we just want to invite people that are interested in learning more about us as a company or the product. Please visit us at PreCardix.com. Email us, DM us.
Yes, email me. I am there.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Anytime. Yes, please. We are here to help in any way we can. So visit us at PreCardix.com, and we hope to hear from you, and have a great day, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and again, thank you for coming.
Yeah, if you want to learn more, visit us at PreCardix.com. Send us an email, give us a phone call, send us a DM. I'm always here.